All right, what's going on? Is Sirius a second sun hiding in plain sight? Yep, you heard it. You heard it. What's going on? You listen to King Cam and Ujumbe podcast and Ujumbe's message, and the people have been asking questions, and I got to give them answers. I got to say something, right? And so the next question, is it our second sun? Is it hiding in plain sight? Is it what's going on, right? Now, the question was asked by my brother Joseph Ferguson, 1111. Shout out to the fam. He asked in his own way, Sirius, second son? Right. Here's another one. All right, by our brother. It's a statement, rather. It was a statement by brother Semitic Sutek, and who really represented the dog star. Yeah, he said it, and he used this illustration. Love it. All right, but we're gonna get into it now. In the modern science of Sirius, the modern science of Sirius. All right, this is what the modern scientists and astronomers are saying about this star system. Okay, now it is a binary star system. Sirius consists of two stars, Sirius A, a main sequence of stars, sequence star, and Sirius B, a faint white dwarf. Okay. Now, the brightness is in the night sky is due to its intrinsic luminosity and relative proximity to the Earth. But according to science, it's far too distant to influence the Earth like our sun. Okay. And Sirius, it is located about 8.6 light years away. That is a long way, y'all. That's a long way. Now, here's another illustration here. I like this one. It has Sirius A, Sirius B, and it is a Sumer triangle. Here we have Altair, Deneb, and Vega. And then you see right here the sun. You see the illustration? They gave a good illustration as to how large Sirius A is in conjunction to the sun. Let's break it down. Okay, it's a binary star system. Sirius A, once again, main sequence star, twice as massive as the sun and 25 times more luminous, or is it brighter? Look at it. If you put it to scale, Sirius A is large, and then next to Sirius A is a small dot. That's the sun. Now, of course, where we are, we see the sun is very large, but God, it is huge, and it's it's larger, more vast than our sun. Okay. Now, Sirius B is a white dwarf, the remnant core of a star that exhausted its nuclear fuel. Now, although Sirius is incredibly bright due to its, intrinsic luminosity relative to the Earth, it's not a second sun, y'all. Okay. Now, what about Sirius and the sun? The binary companion theories. A lot of people believe that Sirius A and the sun are intertwined. Okay. Some theories propose that the sun is part of a binary star system and Sirius is its companion. Okay. Of course, the Sirius A is like a bluish color, and then our sun is a reddish or gold color. Okay. So some people would believe that it is Sirius companion, but there's no evidence for such connection. Right? Now, the sun and Sirius are moving through through the galaxy independently. They don't need each other to move, okay, with no shared gravitational relationship. Okay, so um they're moving throughout this galaxy in their own way, their own speed, their own rate. Okay. And once again, Sirius A is 8.6 light years away. By contrast, the sun is only 8 light minutes. The Sirius A light years, 8.6 light years, and the sun is light minutes, 8 light minutes. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so Sirius proper motion indicates that it's not bound to our solar system. So the way, like I said before, the way Sirius A is moving is it's not even close. It's not even connected. There's no gravitational pull. There is no, according to science, there is no, there's nothing there. It's nothing happening. It's beautiful to see, for sure, but not there, right? Now but this is according to modern science. Okay, modern science. Of course, the second sun is to imply that, that this star is close enough to exert any gravitational or radiative effects on Earth, which altering climates, tides, or orbital stability. The moon does that more than anything else. Okay, if the moon is off a little bit, oceans are off a little bit, all the things, right? So Sirius does none of these. Okay, its distance is far too great for any meaningful effect. But this is according to modern science. Now, let's get to the ancient science. Let's get to the ancient customs. All right. This is this is where it gets interesting. Okay. Now, agree or disagree, or whatever, but we're gonna get into it. Okay. Now, it may not be a literal second sun, but it held an immense cultural significance throughout the centuries. Okay. We can't disagree with that. Okay, we can't argue with that. Of course, we have Orion on one side here, and then we have the symbolism of Sirius over here. They was always together. You always saw them, right? Now, on the on the right, we have the modern science representation of Sirius A and B, and on the left, we have this. This thing has arrested my attention. It's called the Grador Grador Grad. I'm sorry. It's the uh, granite sarcophagus of Ankh from Mdw okay, during the late 26th dynasty. Okay. Um, it really arrested my attention, and I'm going to break some of this down. As you can see, the binary star system, we may not have two suns, but the Sirius is a binary star system, and the people of Kemet amplified that. They showed that, and we're going to talk about it. Let's go. Now, this is the Mdw Ntr for the star Sirius. This is what it looks like. It has a little star and a little, the half circle there, which means the star is over something, okay? Is above something or someone, right? And then that's the small little pyramid right there, right? They call Sirius in Kemet Sopdet. Sopdet, Sopdet, Sopdet. Okay, so Sopdet, right? So Sirius was associated with the goddess Isis or Aset. Now it depends on the era. Okay, let me be clear. It depends on, is it the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom, or the New Kingdom? There's four golden ages, but we'll talk about that later. But in the Old Kingdom, in the Old Kingdom, um, Sirius did represent Aset or Isis, okay, following Osiris across the Milky Way and things of that nature during the Egyptian calendar. Okay, so its heliacal rising first appearance just before sunrise coincided with the annual flooding of the Nile, marking the renewal and fertility. But check this out. Shout out to the family Ethiopia. I noticed this whenever, because Sirius on our side of the world rises in September. And get this, in Ethiopia, they celebrate their new year when? In September. Pretty cool. All right. So um it's amazing to see that how the Kemetic people saw Sirius and saw Orion, and made that correlation. Okay. Now the Egyptians, to the people of Kemet, Sirius was symbolically important, and but they didn't see it as a second son, I don't think, according to record. But y'all let me know. Okay. Now here's another illustration of um the star Sirius moving in movement. But now, like I said, in the old kingdom, it represented Isis, but in the middle kingdom and the new kingdom, it was just subject. Okay, and Sa'u. All right, so it depends on what's happening, when it is. It kind of interchangeable, right? Now, here's another one. Now, this is the pyramid text. This pyramid text. It says, "O King, you are this great star and the companion of Orion, who traverses the sky with Orion, who navigates the Duat with Osiris. You ascend from the east of the sky, being renewed at your due season." Pyramid text, utterance, page, I think number 466. But check this out. I said this many times before, the people of Kemet believe that the ancestors will become stars. Okay, they will join the imperishable stars. That's what they say. And shout out to my brother. He did he registered my grandmother. Our grandmother is a star registry with her name. So she has symbolically became an imperishable star. Okay. But even though she passed many years ago, but for my brothers to do that, that was really cool. All right. Now, here's another one. Now, the southern half of the astronomical ceiling of the tomb is Senumut, showing planets, constellations, and the star list, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York. Um, they used Orion, they used Sirius as their marking point. Okay, and you see the star charts, the star maps. These people have been doing this for centuries. So if they wrote the stars and drew the stars out at that point in that time in that era, that means they have been observing this for hundreds of years before that. That's what it is. When they make these star maps, when they make these designs here in the Mdw Ntr or in the hieroglyphics or on the walls, they have observed those stars for centuries, if not thousands of years. That's crazy. We're going to talk about that in a second. All right, let's go. The Dogon people. Yeah. The Dogon people is an ethnic group in Mali, West Africa. Yeah, we talked about Kemet, but now we got to move it up to the Dogon people. Shout out to Yaya Shabaka. He put me on. It's pretty cool. They are well known for the intricate cosmology, which has fascinated scholars, anthropologists, and astronomers. Their deep spiritual traditions, celestial knowledge, and myths about the stars have drawn interest because of the parallels with modern astronomical understanding. They've been knowing this stuff for a long time. We just not figured it out. Okay. We, including us over here. They said, man, this is old stuff, right? So, so Baba, he said, what makes this so interesting is the Dogon mastered the relation between the Sun, Orion, and Sirius star systems without modern devices. Shout out to Yahya Sabaka. He told me about this. He said, without modern devices like telescopes, etc., it was them who coined the three stars of Sirius. I did not know there was three. Let me know in the chat. I knew it was a binary star system. I didn't know there was three. Is there a trinity of stars up there? Let me know in the comment. All right. Without modern devices like telescopes, three stars of Sirius, later verified by Western scholars, they used the Makina Fulbe dialect or Fulani dialect to name these stars. Three stars. I didn't know that. I didn't know. You learn something new every day. All right. You learn something new every day. Now, the Dogon, uh, their system is intricate, spiritual, blending mythology with natural phenomena. Central to their beliefs is the concept of Amma. 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 The creator deity and a rich mythological narrative about the origins of the universe, humanity, and the stars. Amma that's very similar to Amun. Right? So, and and now they call that, I learned this also. They don't call Sirius or the dog star. They call it Sigitolo. They call it Sigitolo. Okay, the Dogon have a special reverence to the Sirius star system. They call it Sigitolo. According to their myths, the companion star is Pultolo. Okay, that is Sirius B. So Sigitolo, Sirius A, Pultolo, Sirius B. Okay, this is smaller. The Dogon also speak of the third star, Emi. That's the third one. I told you I was gonna get it. Imi which is associated with fertility and the feminine aspect of creation. So, father, mother, and child. Hmm. Wow, it's crazy. And they describe the Milky Way as a spiral. Yeah, the Dogon people. They three-star system, which I didn't know about. Then a spiraling Milky Way before modern science. Before modern science. Okay. Now they possess this knowledge of elliptical orbits, celestial bodies, including relationship between Sirius and the companion star. They incorporated this knowledge into their ritual calendars. Now they had complex ceremonies and knowledge, which was linked to the celestial cycles. They had a thing called the Sugi ceremony, a ritual performed every 60 years to celebrate the renewal of life and the completion of the cosmic cycle. Now, this ceremony is closely tied to the orbit Sirius A and B. Now, but how did they get this knowledge? Now, my assumption, y'all can let me know. How did they get it? Did the people of Kemet hand it to them, or were they already with the people of Kemet in the Nile Valley, and it was just passed around as common information? What do y'all think? All right, what do y'all think? And so this is God, this is crazy because they knew about the stars, they knew about the planets without the aid of a telescope. But if I wish I had a picture of their writing, I don't have that. But their writing looks like hieroglyphics. If they write in the sand, it looks like hieroglyphics. Speaking of that, told you I was gonna come back and get it. Okay. Now, this this system. Okay, this system here, we have Sirius A and B. Now we know there's a Sirius C somewhere, right? I need to find that. I need to find that. So, but we also have of course, the sarcophagus of Ankh of Amennefer. Okay. Now, but we're gonna break this down a little bit. We're gonna break this down a little bit because I this is this has arrested my attention. Okay. Shout out to Sultan, shout out to the bro, to the fam. All right. Now, what I'm using to break this down is the book of Kwame for by day. Okay, the Ru M Haru in Kaher. So this is what I'm using by E.A. Wallace Budge. Some people may use other things. That's fine, but this has arrested my attention, y'all. So it's the craftsmanship of it, and it's durable. Is it shows the identification of the deceased, and it mentions prayers, and it has dedication to the Neteru. Um, Now, it at first glance, when you look at first glance, because we talk about the two-star system, now there's three, but at first glance, it shows some kind of symbolism with the two-star system, right? The dog star, as we would call it. Now, if you look at it, you can pause it, but look at it, okay? At first glance, they look the same. Pause and look at it. Okay. Now, when I looked at it, they're not, and I had to look at it again. It's not the same because on the left side has some symbolism, some symbols here, the miniature, and on the right there's some that are same but not the same. Okay, now we're gonna break this down. So you see there are stars with circles around it. That is the duat. That is the basically heaven or the ancestral world. Okay, and you see the Ankh. It looks like an Ankh, but it's halfway. That is the Shin. Okay, the Shin that means eternal protection. So or eternal or eternity. Okay, so you see the Shin in quite a few places and spaces. That means this is an eternal thing. This is an ongoing thing. Okay, and so in the middle, it looks like two hands or two things are binded. That means it is binding. That means that or it's binding or that is a door. That is, yeah, that is a door. Okay. A little bit more. Okay. So we have Anupu. We have Anubis here. He is guiding this person from one plane to the next. Because you see eternity, 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 and there's water. Water can represent a lot of things. Okay. They would call it the new, the new. Okay. So he is this person. whoever this person who passed away, he is going from the living to the realm of the ancestors, and Anupu is guiding him across that. Okay, and of course that you see the half under Anupu, there is the half circle, and Ta, that means he's above the land, he's possessor of it, and he's the possessor of the Aket, or this person inherited or he possessed that eternal life. Okay, tell me what you think. Now, let me continue. Now, this little item here, okay, this little item here look like a little shaker or whatever. That means he's established. This person is established. It is assured of him. Okay, so on the left side we have that. Okay, so this person he has eternal life, and he is guided by Nupu, and you see the birds. Okay, and you see a bird that is and he is traveling across the Duat. Okay, and that basically he is there. He is in this place. He is in the place of the ancestors. Okay, and so trying to find one more because I know our time's getting short. Um, but yes, one more thing. This is a door, or this is binding him. Okay, so tell me what you think. But he's bottom line. Um, for the sake of time, this person, he he is between. He went from one world to the next. Okay, and he has eternal life in the realm of the ancestors. Okay, you can let me know in the comments. Okay, but that arrested my attention because it shows the binary star system. Okay, and it shows that person going from the living plane, the physical plane, to the realm of the ancestors. And who knows, back, but that's because in African customs, our ancestors never leave us. They're always with us, right? All right, here we go. Now, the Bull and Sirius. Now, it goes further south. It goes further south, y'all. Sopdet is symbolized as the cow or the bull. In some customs, the Bull and Sirius are together. The Kemetic symbol of Het Eru, which is under the constellation of Taurus, or built during the age of Taurus. That is a long time before that. I told you before that when they made these stars and made these star maps in the pyramids and in Waset, they observed them long before that. Okay, so the age of Taurus began in 4,300 before Common Era. So that is before the Pharaonic age. That is before the first pharaohs. All right. So the ancient Nubian ancestors noticed the rising of Sirius long before Kemet. Yeah, here we go. A lot of people would think that Egypt had all this information and they got it by themselves. No, they didn't. Okay. So who gave them this knowledge? Okay. Yahya Sabaka Baba, he asked, who gave them this? Okay, was it angels? Was it prophets? Was it teachers? Who gave them this? Right now, the question is, should we go further south to have this discussion? Okay, because I have the book Black Genesis. Okay, pretty good. All right, the prehistoric origins of ancient Egypt. It discusses how they lined up with uh with lined up monuments with Taurus, and they called it the Zep Tepi, or the first time. Okay, now they came from the south. Okay, the ancient Nubian ancestors noticed the rising of Sirius long before Kemet. Of course, who gave them this knowledge? I want to know. If y'all know, tell me. Should we go further south? Let's have that discussion. Should we go further south with this premise? We already found out that there's a triad of stars according to the Dogon people, right? But the question, is it a second sun? Is Sirius a second sun? No, it is not. In so many words, No, but it's fun to learn something new because I learned something new, y'all. I didn't know about this stuff, right? And I was challenged to break down, you know, some hieroglyphics. All right. Now, coming up, special topic, Black History Month. Shout out to Sister Blanton. She is one of our esteemed instructional coaches in my district. And so she asking, am I going to do something for Black History Month? Sure will. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Let me know in the comments who you want me to talk about, what time frame, because Black history is our history, not just African history. I want, let me know. Tell me in the comments who or what you want me to discuss. Let's go. And after, so Black History Month, that's February. So after that, we'll do Queens of the South, okay, or Ladies of the North and South. All right. So I'm excited about that. That I'm thinking about rolling that out in March. Okay. So yeah, Black History Month is due, right? The next book we're going to use is The First Female Pharaoh, Sebek Neferu, okay, Goddess of the Seven Stars by Andrew Collins. And what's next? We'll answer some more questions. If not, we're going to do Black History Month. We're going to go from there. And for more, check out Sister Danita Smith, Yaya Sabaka, AE Learning, and shout out to One Voice Africa. Shout out to them. Okay, much love to the fam. All right, now more books. The Messages of the Sphinx by Robert Bouval. That's a good book. Sirius Mystery. The Akan, Other Africans, and the Sirius Star System by Kwame Adapa. Check it out. And here it is. Let me see. The Science of the Dogon, Decoding the African Mystery Tradition, and The Pale Fox. Right? And before we go, our prayers go out to the family in LA. Pray for them. You're in our prayers. We love you guys. And we're thinking about you. We hope all is well, or we hope that that you get the help and the things that you need, right? But you're on our hearts and our minds, and you're in our prayers. All right. It's Sirius, our second son. We just got to talk about that. And listen to King Cam Ujumbe podcast, and I'll talk to you later.